Hello, everybody. Mike Shoesmith here. What you're looking at is an article from the Huffington Post from 2013. Now, we do have breaking news on what's going on with SETI this week. But to understand that better, we have to go back a year from 2013 to an article titled SETI. SETI stands for Search for Terrestrial Intelligence. Rather, search for Extraterrestrial Intelligence. SETI. SETI's alien life study finds no signals of extraterrestrial origin. All right, let's have a look here at this. Intelligent alien life is likely relatively rare throughout our Milky Way galaxy, with fewer than 1 in a million solar systems harboring civilizations advanced enough to send out radio signals, a new study reports. They get that conclusion. That conclusion is based on nothing, by the way, and I'll show you that in a moment. But it's based essentially on faith. Fewer than 1 in a million solar systems harboring civilizations. That is a shocking statement. Fewer than a million solar systems are harboring civilizations out there advanced enough to send out radio signals. This is what SETI is saying. A research team that includes famed alien hunter Jill Tarter, the model for astronomer Ellie Arroway and Carl Sagan's famous book Contact, surveyed dozens of planet-hosting stars for radio signals from alien civilizations. They turned up nothing. No signals of extraterrestrial origins were found, the researchers conclude. In the study, which has been accepted for publication in the Astrophysical Journal. That is from last year. So what's the latest coming out of SETI? Well, SETI, even though they make these outrageous claims, they're saying that fewer than 1 in a million solar systems are harboring civilizations advanced enough to send out radio signals on new study reports. Let me show you what this is based on here, because they have no factual evidence on this. No signal. In fact, they have evidence to the contrary. Because their entire focus is on listening to what's happening out in the universe, and they've detected no signals of extraterrestrial origin, and yet they're making bold assertions here. Fewer than a million solar systems harboring civilizations advanced enough to send out radio signals. Fewer than a million. Fewer than 1 in a million, rather. I say it is fewer than 1 in a million. It may even actually only be one civilization in the universe advanced enough to send out radio signals. And so far, that's the way it's looking. Here's the latest out of the news here. This is this week. Or last week, rather, because today is Sunday, the first day of a brand new week. This was Thursday, May 22nd. SETI astronomers tell U.S. Congress there's alien life out there. Wow, that's amazing. Possibility of alien microbial life existing is close to 100%, say SETI scientists. Search for extraterrestrial intelligence. What do they base this on? This bold claim from SETI. Astronomers in America have told the U.S. Congress that the search for extraterrestrial life is, quote, plausible and warrants scientific inquiry. Why are they saying this, by the way? They're saying this because they want money, right? That's why they're saying this. Excuse me. Dan Wertheimer and Seth Shostak of the SETI Research Center at the University of California, Berkeley, presented evidence to the House Committee to secure further funding to find alien life in outer space. They want your money. This is your money, folks. They have been doing this, spending lots of your money, and have found exactly nothing. Look what else they say here. In the last 50 years, evidence has steadily mounted that the components and conditions we believe necessary for life are common and perhaps ubiquitous in our galaxy, said Wertheimer in his written testimony. There may even be primitive extraterrestrial life in our own solar system, perhaps on a moon of Jupiter or Saturn. Europa, one of Jupiter's moons, is thought to have a liquid water ocean beneath its icy surface, perhaps a good environment for life as we know it. The pair said that although no evidence exists, I want you to hear me now. Hear me now. The pair said that although no evidence exists for the presence of life outside Earth. Well, wait a minute. What does it say here? SETI astronomers tell U.S. Congress there's alien life out there. But the pair also said, see, you guys have to read deeper into the articles here. There is no evidence for the presence of life outside Earth. None. The sheer abundance of planets, roughly 1 trillion in our Milky Way galaxy, 3 times more planets than stars, suggests that the universe is teeming with primitive life. Yet there's no evidence of it. The SETI Institute, short for Search for Extraterrestrial Intelligence, does not actively look for life. Instead, uses radio and optical telescopes to search for evidence of advanced civilizations and their technology on distant extrasolar planets. Wertheimer and Shostak point out that Earth itself has been beaming out radio and television signals into the cosmos for the last 85 years. But that is this time span is only an instant compared to the 4 billion. We are just now developing the tools and technologies. So they want more money to build better listening, to build better headphones, I guess. I read somewhere that SETI actually admitted that there is no evidence. What? All right, here it is here. This is from Yahoo News, May 21st. Astronomers tell Congress they're almost certain ET exists. And they go over much of the stuff that we've already covered. And then they were asked, Wertheimer and his colleague Seth Shostak, senior astronomer at the SETI Institute, they were on Capitol Hill to discuss the need for continued funding for the search for life in the universe. And it says here in the article they were bullish about the prospects that there is life in outer space. Now, why do they say that? Like we covered before, they say that there is definitely life in space. And 1 in a million of these places for life would have, the type of life that could communicate. This is what they're saying. And then later on in the article, we showed you that there is no evidence for this at all, right? And then they're asked about, they say, and they're bullish about the prospects, and then they say why. They say, it would be bizarre if we are alone. This is their reason, folks. It's faith-based. These people should just go and get people to donate to their cause and just get a 501c3 going there, because this is religious for these people. It's faith-based because there's no evidence for life off of the planet. No, they're looking for it, but this is a stunning admission here. There is no evidence for alien life off of this planet. Nothing exists. They say it would be a cramped mind that didn't wonder what other life is out there. And you know what? I'm not entirely against wondering, but I may be against, and I think that many people should be against funneling millions of dollars into these listening devices, paying these people all this money to listen for this after all this time. At the end of the article, it goes on to say, both Shostak and Wertheimer agreed on this point. There have been no visits from aliens. I don't think that would be something all the governments would have managed to keep a secret, Shostak said. If they were really here, I think everyone would know that. So SETI, Search for Extraterrestrials Intelligence, is saying there's no evidence for it off of this planet, and there's no evidence that any alien with intelligence ever visited this planet. That's what they're saying. This is big news, folks. The news here, the headline here is not astronomers tell Congress they're almost certain ET exists. Other headlines out there saying, aliens exist, say scientists. No, that's not what they're saying. They're saying that there's no evidence that aliens exist. That's the headline here. SETI researchers admit no evidence that aliens exist on this planet or any other. There's no evidence for it. I'm going to close this with this. Chris Hadfield, he's a Canadian astronaut, and he's probably the most famous astronaut in existence today. He retired recently, and he wrote a book. And I have heard Chris Hadfield speak to interviewers, etc. And he was asked the million-dollar question: what is the feel up there with respect to God? What's the feel up there? What do you get? What's your sense? And he was asked this question one time on CBC radio up in Canada, because he's Canadian and so on. And this was his response. He said, I sit up there in the ship, and I'm paraphrasing him now, folks. I'm not reading his exact words here, but I did listen to the interview live, and I remember being moved by what he said. He said, we look out one side of the ship, and we look out into the deep vastness of space. It just goes on and on and on. And we look at that, and we see a place that is far more likely to produce death than life. This is what an astronaut told the interviewer. He said, I look at one side of the ship, and I see a universe that is dark and filled with death. It would kill him. As soon as he left the ship without protection, he would die. There's all sorts of things out there that all sorts of reasons why life would not exist in the universe. And it's a universe far more likely to produce a dead planet than a living planet. Far more likely. And that's what one would expect when one does any sort of research into the universe. That well, I'll just tell you what he said. He said it is a place far more likely to produce a dead planet than a living one. And he's being asked about God, remember. He's being asked about God. He says, I look out at this and I see death. I see again, I know this may sound repetitive, but he said, I see a universe far more likely to produce a dead planet than a living one. And then I look out my other window, the other side of the ship, and I see the earth. I see the earth teeming with life. Living beings constructed and organized into intelligent beings. And with intelligence and the ability to design such things as rocket ships, etc. And then I look again out the other side of the ship, and I'm paraphrasing now, and he says, I see again a universe far more likely to produce a dead planet than a living one. And then again I look to the other side of the ship, and I see a living planet. And I think to myself, how do you deny the existence of God? That a universe that is far more likely to produce a dead planet than a living one, there we have a living planet. And it's just so, like these SETI people, they say it would be bizarre if we are alone, yet this astronaut seems to be hinting that it is very bizarre to look out of one of the portals on the ship and see a living planet in a universe far more likely to produce a dead one. He said that he's not alone in these thoughts. He said that is the bizarre aspect here, that there exists a planet teeming with life in a universe far more likely to produce death. And I'm just going to leave you with that. I want you guys to think about that. My name is Mike Shoesmith. Thank you for watching.